Okay, this is a quick overview of the process of photosynthesis. This is topic 8G, lesson 8. To start with, we need to be aware that plants are autotrophic. Now this word can be split into two parts, the word auto and trophic. Auto means self and trophic means to feed. So these are self-feeders. They can basically make their own food. And the food that we're talking about is glucose, which is a type of sugar. So let's have a look at the plant in a bit more detail. Start with our ground. We're going to have some stems. We'll just do two. And we'll have just a couple of leaves. We'll have some roots to anchor the plant into the ground. Okay, so the objective is to make glucose. So we need to start with some reactants. We need to start with some chemicals that are going to help us make this stuff called glucose. Now, if you're interested, glucose has the chemical formula C6H12O6. So we need to get three different elements: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So let's look and see where we can get that from. First of all, carbon dioxide comes from the atmosphere. There's enough in the atmosphere for the plant, and this gets absorbed through the leaves, through the underside of the leaves, and this is going to provide us with some carbon and some oxygen to help us make some glucose. So let's add this into our reaction. So we've got carbon dioxide. We also need a source of hydrogen as well. Now, fortunately, plants take up water through their leaves, so we've got some water, through their roots, through their roots, that passes up through the stem and into the leaves, where it will meet up with the carbon dioxide. So now we've got some water. We need the right conditions now. The reaction just won't happen by itself, so we need some energy from the sun. So photosynthesis happens during the day, and we also need another chemical to help with the process. It's not a reactant or a product, but it's essential for the reactions to happen. And this is the stuff that makes plants look green, and this is called chlorophyll. So let's add light and chlorophyll above and below the arrow. We'll make that a little bit bigger, shall we? There we go. Here's our reaction arrow. The two products then that we're going to make, we definitely want to get our glucose, and our final waste product is oxygen. And the oxygen can leave through these little holes on the underside of the leaf and back out into the atmosphere. So here's a quick overview of the story then. Objective is to make some glucose. So in order to do that, we need some carbon dioxide and water, which provides us with carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. We need to react carbon dioxide with the water. This happens in the leaves. We need light from the sun in order to provide some energy to do the process, and a pigment called chlorophyll, so that's the green stuff inside plants, that's going to help with the reaction also. Once the glucose has been made, that actually gets stored inside the plant as starch, and it can be stored in the roots as well. So if you've got something like a potato plant, for example, or carrots, any root vegetables, that's a storage place for starch, that extra glucose that is made during the day. Once the glucose has been made, this can be turned into other things, and then finally the waste product that we get is oxygen. Now, it's a bit misleading to think that all of the oxygen that's made is wasted and goes into the atmosphere. It's not. Some of it is used to perform respiration as well, which is the reaction. In fact, it's the reverse of this process called photosynthesis. Where the plants then take the glucose and the oxygen and take out the energy to be then used for other processes. And the waste products there are carbon dioxide and water. But again, we'll do that on another lesson. So hopefully that was a quick overview for you on the process of photosynthesis.